You know, my friends, with the current PC landscape and the way things are going, and everybody's kind of, you know, fake outraging about Nvidia right now. Because you know what, man, this is YouTube. This is YouTube. You can try to tell me till you're blue in the face that they're being sincere. They're whatever. Okay. Like, this is YouTube. Rage and bait and all of that stuff really works. You get a lot of clicks for that stuff. Every man has his own freaking, you know, pretty much morality or values or integrity or whatever the freak you want to call it these days. Let's just cut to the crap. Like, I legit have been telling people that Nvidia is scummy for the last couple of years. That the practices they use to deploy their products, the exact way they limit things or how they do things, you know, and everybody just told me I was just an AMD shill and shut up, I don't know what I'm talking about, blah, blah, blah. But then one YouTuber comes out and he pulls the covers up, and it's like, dude, that's the same stuff I've legit been telling you guys that I feel has been going on for a long time. And I'm a super deep thinker, you know, like I watched that video that Steve made like 5 times now, like 5 times. And if you go to like section 527, that's the part that I have a big problem with. It's because I paid money for my 5070 Ti. I legit just paid money for that 5060. And I am actually quite satisfied with multi-frame gen for the most part. Like, there's a lot of games that I would get, you know, if you look at just this one, Hogwarts Legacy, guys. That game stutters really bad when I try to play it without any kind of frame generation on the Nvidia GPUs, and it stutters on the AMD ones too. It's kind of a mixed bag. But when I turn on frame gen, that stuff goes away and it feels a lot smoother. And so like that there, right there, all by itself, just the ability to give me a smoother experience on a game is like, okay, that's kind of cool. That actually works. That does a good job. But let's not mix words, okay? Frame generation is not more performance. Period. Like, anybody that believes that is completely freaking is lost. It is frame interpolation. It's basically just adding fake frames to the rendered frames, which in and by itself isn't necessarily a bad thing because it smooths out your experience, therefore making your experience better. But it does kind of play on the psyche of everybody that's looking at that, you know, and with Nvidia wanting to push that, it's like, hey man, this is our main thing. Let's just show everybody the fake frames. You know why they're doing that, okay? You know why they're doing that is because for 70%, I'm going to say about 70% of gamers, okay? Maybe even higher, you're going to turn this on and it's going to be so smooth that you're just not gonna care about the introduced latency that it brings. It's not that bad. A lot of people will say, oh man, I can feel it, but okay, like whatever makes you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better. I personally have been playing games since I was 5 years old. I am 44 years old now. My games don't feel any different than they always have on a console, to be completely honest with you. I'm still using a controller on the PC, so I haven't legit skipped a freaking beat this whole time. Like, it just feels smooth, like it looks smooth. I'm getting a visual representation more than I am getting a feeling out of any of these games that I'm playing. And so if you go back to 5 minutes and 27 seconds into Steve's video, he essentially says that anybody that is covering multi-frame generation and DLSS shouldn't be taken seriously or should have to prove that they are covering it because they want to and not because Nvidia is forcing them. Oh, man. So if you take that statement at face value, okay, all the money that I've invested into the 5070 Ti to buying a whole new build for Nvidia, and then buying a 5060, essentially now everybody that goes to his channel, every time I cover this stuff, is going to come and question me. Yeah, well, how come you're out here shilling for Nvidia? Man, I am the farthest thing from an Nvidia shill. Like, I've been telling you till I'm blue in the face that Nvidia is essentially a scam. You had better, if you're going to buy Nvidia and you're going to be part of that ecosystem, you had better go in there knowing that, like, look, they're gonna create a way to make you want to upgrade every generation. And that's fine. I mean, they're a company, they're trying to make money. Like, I'm not mad at them for being a company. I'm not. Like, I know that there's a lot of other people out there that thrive on just getting people wound up over that kind of stuff. But me personally, I'm a grown ass man. If I see a price on something, I'm like, all right, cool, let's see what it does. But we don't ever get that in these reviews. The reviews that they say, hey, these are unbiased, these are reviews that are just, they're unbiased review, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, you know, they're not paid for. You're right. You're free to say whatever you want in your review. But then you use subsequent product to make content for subsequent product, therefore giving you more monetization than you would have gotten from just reviewing said product. That's residual. Like, you're getting a residual income out of that product. Like the 9070 XT, every single video that I create with it, that I make over it, that is all income for me on a product that I didn't pay for, that I got to review from AMD. So yeah, no matter how you want to look at it or how you want to cut it, there's no reason to sit and feel guilty about this stuff. You say you're bringing good content to everybody, okay? Well, the thing with PC gaming, at least in my limited experience, that I have come to the realization is there's so many different levels of what this PC hardware can do, okay? Every single Nvidia card that they've launched with the Blackwell series is technically better than the 40 series cards. Not by much in raw performance or whatever, but they are better. They are better, and technically they are cheaper at MSRP. Now, that's not me defending Nvidia. Like, I could care less if Nvidia ever sells another graphics card again. Like, honestly, I could care less. I much prefer the AMD platform, and I think a lot of people would, but there's so much. You know, when Steve says in that thing at 527, right after that point, don't take anybody that's covering multi-frame generation or DLSS seriously. You don't know if Nvidia is forcing that upon them. Well, I may not be a smart man when it comes to PC stuff, but I can definitely tell when I'm being marketed something. I would hope everybody does. When you watch a review, okay? When you watch a review and you keep hearing the same phrase over and over and over and over again, that's called conditioning in the psychological sense of things. When you hear statements like, well, it doesn't really matter if this price is not this price, people are just going to pay more for Nvidia. When you hear phrases like that, or when you hear that just implies that it doesn't matter. AMD needs to be a certain price because Nvidia is so much better that it wouldn't make any sense for anybody to buy that. They would just spend the $200 more for the Nvidia product. And this is back when Nvidia's 5070 Ti was only $750. And they were trying to back AMD into a corner to sell that card for $550 for the 9070 XT. That's a $200 freaking gap, my friends. Nvidia is not $200 better than AMD, period. Never has been, never will be. There's no way on earth. I mean, even if you go back to the 40 series and the RDNA 3 cards, 7800 XT was a superior experience over a 4070. It still is to this day. It's still better. Now, when we look at like 6800 XT to 7800 XT, again, not a massive upgrade. Actually, in some ways, maybe even, I'm not going to say a downgrade. I would say that they pretty much extended that power or whatever. And yeah, so they tried chiplet, they tried a different design. They probably could have made it work. They probably could have figured out a way to make that work and be better, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with AMD. They don't have the trillions of dollars that Nvidia has to sit and, you know, make mistakes. They make a product and they have to either stick with it and move forward or something. So that's why, you know, RDNA 4 is kind of a reboot, and that's fine because RDNA 4 is absolutely freaking incredible. The 9060 XT, when that comes out, that's going to be an awesome GPU. You know, guys, I look back to the 7600 XT that I bought last generation, and the experience that I had with that GPU was actually pretty damn good. And, you know, before I get too much farther in here, like I'm legit considering selling all the Nvidia stuff. I am. Like if we're gonna stand on principle, okay? If we're gonna stand on principle, I challenge Hardware Unboxed and Gamers Nexus and everybody else that feels so strongly about Nvidia being so scummy and manipulating everything and taking advantage of people to stop covering them. Stop covering them. If you feel strongly and you feel like the integrity of the whole thing is at risk and you just can't trust any other content creator to have a unbiased, unfettered opinion about Nvidia, which last time I checked, they all pretty much had the same damn opinion, period. So if you can't trust anybody, then that means, yeah, basically all of them are essentially corrupt in my mind then. Like if you can't trust any of them when they're all saying the same damn thing with just a different little spin on how they say it, isn't the whole thing just corrupt then or bought and paid for? You know what I mean? Like if you get a free GPU and you do a review on it and you stick it on a shelf and you never touch that product again and you never make any more content about it, that, my friend, is what you would call a review. You did your review. Okay? But if you pick said GPU back up off the shelf and continue to create content for said product, you are making a lot of money off of each and every single one of those videos you make, especially at a size like yours. You're making a lot of money. So you are essentially getting a lot of gain. Could you live without that? Was essentially, I guess, is what I'm saying is like, look, man, you basically, you know, like with that statement out of 527, basically said that any of us other reviewers or content creators or anything that are talking about multi-frame generation or DLSS or anything like that, we are essentially shills. We need to be watched with a fine-tooth comb. So yeah, like at this point, I would just as soon stop covering Nvidia than try to listen to all the nonsense of the people that are going to be coming to my channel and in my comment section telling me that I'm a paid shill by Nvidia. I mean, they're already going after Ancient Gameplays Nexus, Gamers Nexus. I mean, what are you going to do about that, bro? Like, you legit brought that shit to his doorstep with your video. So how do you fix that? How do you go through and fix that? Me personally, I've got a long record of bashing Nvidia and calling them out and telling everybody they're scummy. So I could essentially, you know, sell all this stuff and get my monies back and just move on and not cover Nvidia no more. But why? Why should I leave that to all you guys that call them out that will not freaking stand on your integrity? Your integrity is up for grabs right now. And yes, I do feel strongly about this. I do. That's why I keep making videos about it, because I do feel strongly about it. You essentially put my back to the wall as a content creator just trying to make it, having to buy this stuff. I guess maybe you forgot what it's like to have to start from the bottom and build yourself up. I guess maybe you forgot that it's hard. It's hard. We are at a significant disadvantage to you guys that get the stuff free, that get to cover it a week or get to make content and have it ready for day one. We are significantly behind you. We do not have the resources or the time necessary to do any of that stuff. So everything we do is either super late or half-baked most of the time. It's, yeah, just trying to get something out there so that we can get some recognition, because once all your videos start taking off, YouTube don't show our videos until like 50 freaking down the list. 50 down the list, and then finally somebody will be like, oh, well, look at this guy. He might have an interesting take. It is so hard for us smaller content creators to get any kind of, unless a video blows up like real quick. I've had some blow up and they'll do good, and then boom, all of a sudden they just disappear. Like nobody cares. It's like, what the heck, dude? It's crazy, you know? So yeah, I do feel strongly about it because it is a grind, you know, and we're at work half of the day at our real jobs. We're at work half the day at our real jobs. So that's 8 hours, 9 hours that we don't even get to make any content. And then we got to come home and make content. Like my 5060 won't be here till tomorrow. And then I got to come home. I got to do an unboxing video. Then I got to put it in there. And then I'm already 3 days, almost 4 days past the time it came out to be able to put content out for this GPU. And you guys have already trashed it. You guys have already legit told people that this is the biggest trash card ever. Okay, well, I want to see for myself because I don't believe you guys anymore. Like, I don't believe half of the stuff you guys say anymore because of this video. Not because of this video. This video just collaborates and shows me that, like, look, man, clearly this shit's been going on. And if they're trying to do it to Gamers Nexus, really? You want me to sit here, okay? College degree, criminal justice. I've worked in retail. I've worked in marketing. I've done a lot of stuff in my 44 years on this planet. Managed video game stores, legit would talk to, you know, Sony reps, Xbox reps, all of that kind of stuff. It's not like I'm new to this stuff. Like I just, you know, I don't really care to get into the weeds of all this stuff, man. I just want to play video games, cover tech and cool stuff. But you guys brought this out, okay? And if there is that much of a cancer in this culture for GPUs and for tech that you don't want anybody to know about, like you shouldn't. Look, man, if you're not willing to just come out and be honest with your with your communities, look, Steve, I'm going to say this personally to you, bro. The work you do on YouTube is freaking phenomenal. I love it. I respect it. Cool. But to legit come out, man, and call out somebody like Nvidia, okay? Because, I mean, other YouTubers might say something, but they're not going to stand by you, bro. That's their bread and butter, dude. That is their bread and butter. They're going to look at you when you try to get proof, solid, hardcore proof from them. They're going to be like, you're on your own, bro. And then you're going to be like, oh, man, I started this war and now... And then, bro, you're just going to bring yourself to doom going against Nvidia. Look, did Nvidia mess up on the 50 series? Absolutely. Absolutely. The marketing was weird. You know, they should have never tried to push the frame generation shit so hard. But you know what? They're used to people falling in line and parroting their shit like they did with DLSS and RT that are both finally, in this 4th generation, finally worth the crap. Okay, they're finally worth the crap. I can say that. Look, DLSS 4 finally is looking good. Like I appreciate it more. Frame generation, it's all right, and ray tracing is definitely getting better. It is getting to a point where it's starting to make a visual difference and not completely destroying your performance. So yeah, bro, like I don't know if I would have went after Nvidia the way you're trying to go after them. Like I get that they do scummy shit like this, bro. Like I do. But I've literally sat here for the last 2 years fighting an uphill freaking battle, trying to warn people that it's scummy and that they should go into it, not just believe everything they hear, that they should try AMD so that they know exactly what the hell they're getting. Because I guarantee most people would be happy with AMD. They'd be so immersed in their games they wouldn't even give a shit. But popular thought, man. Popular thought is Nvidia is the best. And to tell you the truth, bro, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, dude, Nvidia makes good products. They do. Like nobody can deny that. They make good products. And when you guys cover them, you guys do your best to, you know, to cover them and stuff. But the constant like badgering and breaking down certain products that you don't like and stuff like that, man, there's somebody out there that's going to love these products. Do I think that the $375 that I paid for a 5060 is too much? No, because it's going to beat my PS5 Pro. outright, dude. It's gonna probably dog walk the PS5 Pro. Like the PS5 Pro does have an advantage with the VRAM and stuff like that, but performance wise, you know, productivity wise, all of that stuff, yeah, man, the 5060 is gonna dog walk the PS5 Pro, easy. Might even beat it outright in image quality and stuff like that. Like, it is possible. Like, I do have faith that the 5060 is going to. I'm only gonna test it at 1080p. I'm not gonna waste my time or your time with 1440p or anything like that. We're gonna test it at 1080p, you know, and see what type of because I mean, essentially, if you look at PS5 Pro, that's about what PS5 Pro is doing, is kicking out like a 1080p experience, anyway. So it's not like it's doing anything better than that. But yeah, I figured I should make this video before our communities get all freaking mad and stuff like that. But you know, Steve, you probably don't need to reply to me, just because, man, I am insignificant in the whole scheme of things. I don't really care. Like, I'm just here to have fun and create content. Like, this is your legit livelihood, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you're gonna be on a lonely road going after Nvidia. They are the PC experience, bro. They are. They are. I mean, like, they have 90% of the thing. My content over here yapping about AMD being a good experience, it might turn a couple people. A couple people might be like, yeah, dude, I found AMD because of you and it was awesome, and that's cool, man. Like, that's all I want to do, is help people see both, because I do think that AMD deserves to be treated better, and they should have more freaking market share than they do. They absolutely do. Nvidia has taken advantage of that, taken advantage of customers, taken advantage of content creators, clearly, and you know, what do you do, man? Like, you guys are human. I legit don't expect you guys to be perfect. I don't. Like, I expect that if Nvidia or AMD or MSI or somebody comes to you and be like, hey, Steve, man, we really like your content. You seem like you have a lot of pull with your customers. We want to pay you to promote this product. And then you look at the product, because I trust your judgment, Steve. If you're like, yeah, dude, because I legit, Steve, don't think that you would get a product and take a bunch of money and legit sell us Temu shit. Like, I trust you enough to not do that. And that's the thing that I think us as content creators should focus on more, because yes, brands are going to approach us. Okay, brands are going to. I've had plenty of them reach out to me and offer to pay me for content, but here's the thing, man, they're gonna reach out to you. And like, I've struggled with this a little while. This is why I haven't taken any yet, is because I've struggled with this myself. Is like, okay, I could obviously use the money. I could put it into the channel. I could buy better lighting. I could buy a better camera. I could buy better whatever. You know, I could absolutely use the money to better the experience. But then I have to ask myself, is this a product that I could promote to my friends, to my community? And not feel ashamed if they buy this product, okay? We need to focus more on that experience, because YouTube ad revenue doesn't pay a whole lot of money. I mean, it's all right. I mean, you could seriously get by if you have enough views. Like, you could legit get by, but expanding and being able to like buy stuff, and that way you don't have to beg your community for money either. Like, e-begging is so annoying, dude. Like, that's so annoying. Being like, oh man, join my Patreon so I can be better. But no, man, like, I'm not here to freaking monetize the people that watch my content. I'm here to build relationships and build a community of gamers that like gamers and like freaking just down to earth thought, man. I don't feel like it's a corporate shill thing if you accept money to create essentially an ad or to promote a product. Absolutely not. I don't. Like, you're putting in the work. You're sitting here. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. YouTube is a lot of work. It is, and you deserve to get paid. I probably work just as hard at YouTube as I do my job. So yeah, you deserve to get paid. You deserve to, if you're gonna come. But see, that's the thing. Don't just take anybody's money to promote their product. If we as a community of content creators literally sourced out brands that were worth a shit and brought those to our community, I think our communities would be significantly happier with us if we were bringing them products that were worth the crap, that were going to make them happy, that were going to be worth the value of the money that they work their asses off to make to buy these products. instead of having to rely on these hate and anger and rage videos all the time. No, man, we could legit change the way that companies act by only dealing with companies that are worth a shit. The ones that will make a good product, you know? If you and Hardware Unboxed and everybody else feel that Nvidia is being scummy over this, because I'm kind of on the fence about it. I've been testing out frame generation now for the last few months, and I like it on a pretty good amount. I play a lot of open world games though, you know, so it's kind of good for me. I'm not finding a major issue with it. I'm actually finding it to enhance the experience. And I don't look at it as performance, I look at it as experience. Okay, it's making my experience better. And so I'm perfectly okay with telling people that, like, hey guys, if frame generation, turn it on and it will smooth out your game and it will make things a little bit better for you. And I think a lot of people will resonate with that. A lot of people, I think 70% of gamers just don't even give a shit, dude. They probably are like watching YouTube videos right now trying to figure out how to get a screen or a frame rate counter on their thing anyways. And then they fall into the trap of like, oh my gosh, I need the frame rate and stuff. But yeah, dude, most people don't even care. Most people don't even care. So I mean, it's like, look, and anybody that does care, they probably already know exactly what they're doing. So they don't really need you or me or anybody else to tell them what to do. They just need to figure out, you know, what's the thing. So, all right, my friends, thank you for watching this. No hard feelings with Mr. Steve. I don't have any hard feelings. I just think that he kind of backed me into a corner, and now it's kind of making me feel like I should probably just stop covering Nvidia and just go back to AMD, because that's where I was happy. And I'm happy. I'm content with AMD. I could legit cover AMD and be completely happy. So I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, because I've been warning people about Nvidia for a couple months or for a couple years. I don't like the practices that they do, but at the end of the day, this is the first Nvidia product that I've bought that I don't feel completely ripped off. So it's like, look, man, I'm gonna call. I'm trying to be as fair as possible when it comes to this, and yeah, that's my feelings. I'm not a professional. I'm not a tech expert. That's just me as a human being like, look, man, I don't feel ripped off this time. I actually feel like the 5070 Ti is probably the best card in the Nvidia stack, in the Nvidia lineup, and probably even the 5060 Ti. But gosh dang, man, I don't know, $500. That's up to you to decide. That's you. I'm not going to try to make you feel guilty for spending more or make you feel like it's too expensive or whatever. That's not my part. That's for you to decide if it's good or not. I can just tell you about the product, and then you decide what cost is fair for you. So let me know in the comment section, guys, what you guys think. I'm getting that 5060 tomorrow. I'll obviously put it in there. I'll check out some of the games that I wanted to check out, see what the experience is. But then after that, dude, I might just go back to just AMD. So I might just get rid of the 5060 or the 5070 Ti and the 5060 and just throw my other freaking AMD card in there, man. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.